Okay, everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector. It's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. But I got a special video today, and we're going to compare these two games, Dice Forge and Rattlebones. Now, the reason why we're comparing these two games is they're both dice builders, and that's kind of a fun element in gaming. I like it. And I got Rattlebones a couple years ago now, but I've just received Dice Forge. I'm a little late to the party. A lot of people have played this, and there's a lot of videos online about it, but I'm going to do a comparison of the two games because I think that's pretty cool stuff. So, Dice Forge, Rattlebones, which one's the better game? Let's check it out and find out right now. Okay, so here's the two games that I said we're going to be comparing today. They're both dice builders, and we're going to take the lids off the boxes. I'm going to show you, the component quality, things like that, and tell you a little bit about the game, and then I'll tell you which game I like the best in the end. But let's take a look at Dice Forge first. And Dice Forge, I just picked this up not too long ago, and it's been out for a while though. I'm kind of late to the party on Dice Forge, but I was curious about it. The designer is Regis Bonacy. Let's take a look at this inside and show you what you're getting with Dice Forge. So this is the insert, which is pretty cool. In this game, they really did a nice job with the production. This is the game board that you see here. And you simply you're going to have cards that are laid out, well, not those, but cards that are laid out in this board in these slots. I believe this one goes over here. Everything in this insert has a nice place for it. All the dice you can see here. These are your player boards. There's also extension boards in here. Everything, even the little tiny round counter has a place. There's a guy that got away. But the little tiny round counter here has a place that goes in the insert. So this is a well-designed insert. It's pretty nice, pretty impressive to keep yourself organized. But these are the dice that you use, and they're large, and they're very light though. Very light in your hand, but they roll well, and the die faces change pretty easily. You simply, to change the die face, you're going to take another die face, slip it underneath the one that's on the dice, and push down, and it pops right off. So they're very easy to change out. No big deal. Very quick. On your player boards, you're just simply keeping track of 4 resources. The green is your victory points, and there's moon shards, sun shards, and a track for keeping track of how much gold you have, because gold is how you buy die faces. So yeah, this is the insert, and it's pretty well done. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. When I opened it up and I looked at it, I was quite impressed with the way things were organized, because it makes setting the game up so much easier, and putting it away also. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now I show you this board that comes with. This is a sleeved board. And you put it away like this, so that when you go to play it, all you have to do is slide it out like that. Now it's ready to go, and you can see all the different die faces you can buy. I'll hold it right side. There we go. And it has the gold amount you have to pay to get those die faces to put on your dice. So you're going to roll them, and as you collect gold, you'll be able to purchase these. It will make your dice more powerful. You can see here there's 4 gold, and this one has your choice. You can choose 3 gold or 2 victory points, and various things like that. One of the cool aspects of the game, though, is one of the cards or one of the die faces you put on your opponent's dice. So that's pretty cool. I hadn't seen that before. So you're going to choose it and pick an opponent and say, put that on your dice. And every time they roll their dice, if they roll that dice face, not only do they get something, but you do also. So that's a pretty cool option for a die face in this game. But yeah, that's pretty cool to be able to slide this in and play the game right away. I like the way they did that. And then you got that little band that you put around it to keep it in place. So they really did a nice job with Dice Forge in the component quality and organizing the game box, that's for sure. So simply what you're going to do in Dice Forge is roll those dice, and as the die faces come up, you keep track on the resource tracks with how much you have of each of these items, and you're going to be purchasing cards and buying more dice faces. And I think the game is 9 rounds maybe, and after 9 rounds you add up your points and the game's over. So that's really basically all there is to it. But yeah, see, again, you can see you just pop this stuff out of the box, throw it down, put the cards where they belong, and start rolling. Anyways, yeah, when this tray also, one thing neat about it is once you get ready to play the game, you simply take it out of here and it fits right in the box right here. And then you just keep that by your, you know, your game board, and as you're playing it, you know, as you're playing, it's sitting right there next to the game board, and that's pretty cool. So you can roll your dice, make your choices of what you're going to buy, exchange cards on the board, play 10 rounds, and you're done. So yeah, that's it. That's Dice Forge. Okay, this second game we're going to talk about is Rattlebones. Rattlebones came out in 2014, I believe, and it's put out by Rio Grande Games. And I forget the designer's name, Stephen Glenn. I think Stephen Glenn is the designer. So hey, yeah, look at that box cover. It's kind of a creepy kind of, Rattlebones is kind of this creepy guy, and he's got a festival of dice, and you're just going to move around the festival, and the first one to find Rattlebones wins the game. So I'll show you a little bit how that works. But yeah, I like this. This is kind of a light creepiness that I really enjoy. It's not too gross or anything, so you know, you can play it with at Halloween and stuff with grandkids, children, stuff like that. So yeah, not a horrible type of gore or something like that. But Rattlebones is simply a roll and move game, and this is the game board, and you're going to have 3 pawns that you're going to move on cards, which makes it kind of interesting because you put these cards out at random, so the game is different every time, and it has spaces on the board where they go, but you can put them down like this, you know, do them, shuffle them up, and do them at random. Something like that. Then you're going to have your pawns that you, these big chunky wooden pawns, and you get 3 of them. So you start with 3 of them, and that's what makes it really interesting. This is just one player, obviously. Then you're going to have a mouse that you put on the scoring track. And then Mr. Rattlebones, this big wooden guy, I think for 2-player he starts on 50. Let's say that. So yeah, and then you're going to roll a die. Do this. Start out with, you're going to have 3 dice, but you only get to roll 1 of them to begin with. These dice are a lot heavier and a lot chunkier than the dice in Dice Forge, so they feel better in your hand. And so when you start this game out, you're only going to have 1 die to roll. So you roll 1 die and you're going to move one of your pawns. I rolled a 4, so I can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can go to this space here, and I can take a token from the tokens that they come with the game, and this says a +1, so it's a point token. And I would take that and use one of these pink tools to put that die face on my die. It would be on this one. So, and you have to pick a side. And eventually, as you can see, if you keep doing and rolling this same dice and replacing the die faces, you're not going to be able to move. So that's part of the strategy of the game. And then you just remove it and put it off to the side. And now when I roll this die, if it comes up with that side, I get a point, and I'll move my mouse once on the scoring track. But anyways, back to moving around this festival of dice. As you're moving these guys, they're obviously going to be in different spaces throughout the game, so that when you do roll, I roll a 5, you can take your choice from 3 different options. So that's pretty cool. I really roll and move games really don't do much for me, but this one's pretty cool. because of that aspect. You can take it. You have 3 choices of what you can get by simply taking a look at where these 3 guys are going to end up in a different spot, and you know, make your choice of what you're going to do. And you're going to, after you start to accumulate some gold, which is not a card that's on the board right now. Oh yes, it is right here. Okay, so if you land here, you start getting gold, and you use gold to buy a turn with more dice. So you can, if you pay 1 gold, you can roll 2 dice. If you pay 2 gold, you can roll 3 dice. And you start loading these dice up with all these chits that you get in the game. And this organizer doesn't come with the game. It's something that I put in here. It makes the game a lot easier with all these little die faces that you're going to put on your dice. When you're playing the game, it's just a lot easier to be able to have these organized, reach in, grab them, and we keep everything in there, the tools and whatnot. But you get in the box, these are the gold tokens, the stars, and the stock certificates. That's one of the option cards that you can put on the board. Again, these very chunky wooden pieces. This is for the gambling. Is that one? Yeah. This gambling space. When you land on there, you roll this dice and get the function of that. And then also on these dice, every one of them has, in place of the 1 on the die, it has Rattlebones, and that's that guy right there. And whenever you roll Rattlebones, you not only get to move 1, because it stands for the 1, but when you roll Rattlebones, he moves 1 space towards all players. So he's going to be moving around the track backwards while you're moving forwards. The first one to reach old Rattlebones wins the game, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, he moves towards the players are moving up the scoring track. First one to reach Rattlebones wins the game. It's not hard to use this tool to change these dice out. I've had read on Board Game Geek where some people said they struggled with it, but as you saw, I just changed it out rather quickly, and it's really nothing to it. I don't know what the problem would be. Dice Forge is very easy to change out the die faces. In this game, it's very easy to change out the die faces, so I don't see that as a problem in either game. That's the physical components of the game, and I will take a few minutes now and put these all back in the box, and I'll tell you which one I like best and why, and a little bit about the feel of the game. So. Okay, you guys, so that's a brief overview of the physical components, the production value, and a little bit of an overview of how the game is played. Now, which game is better? Well, it depends, I guess, a little bit on what you're going to use the game for. In Dice Forge, again, it's a light family game, and in this game, you have to balance what you're doing as far as building your dice and going after cards. Because this game is 10 rounds, and after 10 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. So you can't just focus on making your dice powerful, because you can put point values on your dice, but you gotta roll them. So it's quite a bit of luck involved in that. You have to roll those point values if that's what you're putting on your dice. So it makes you have to kind of do a balancing act where you're going to buy cards and build your dice. Kind of a delicate balance there to get the game end totals that you're looking for. So that's kind of what the Dice Forge feels like. Now in Rattlebones, it's a race. It's a flat-out sprint to get to Rattlebones on the board, and that's what's exciting about this game, is the race. The first one there wins the game, and so the escalation is phenomenal, really. And that's why I give the edge to Rattlebones, because I love that escalation, that feel that your engine is getting going and going. It's going faster and faster. As you put those new faces on your dice and you're rolling those things, they're doing more and more for you to move you around that board to get to Rattlebones. And that's what, in a board game, if you are going to keep a board game or something that really makes you want to come back and play it, it has to have that it factor. And Rattlebones has that in spades. But it has a nice balance of complexity and fun. I mean, it goes fast. Laura and I can play this thing in 15 minutes, and that's really, really a cool thing. And we have other games that, not to say we don't have complex games, we do, that take an hour, hour and a half, and even some that take 3 hours. But once in a while you want to have a game that goes quickly, and that's what Rattlebones does for us, and that's why it will stay and Dice Forge will go. So I love Rattlebones, and the game is a blast, and that's the bottom line, isn't it? To have a great time, and so Rattlebones is it delivers in spades. Hey, have a great day. I love all 79 of you guys out there that are subscribed to my channel, and make sure that if you see this video and you're not subscribed, that you please do, and like, and also if you have any comments about either of these games, leave them the comments below the video, and I will get back to every one of you. I swear it. So hey, have a great Mother's Day. God bless every one of you. I love you all. Bye-bye.